For the last century, oil shaped the modern world. It powered armies, factories, transport, and entire economies. But in the 21st century, another resource may become just as important. Not because it powers engines, but because it powers life itself: water. And across the world, water is becoming one of the most valuable resources on Earth. Water is not just something we drink. It grows our food, cools our power plants, supports factories, feeds livestock, makes clothes, batteries, medicine, and computer chips. Every modern economy depends on one hidden assumption: that clean water will be available when it is needed. But that assumption is beginning to break. The problem is not that Earth has no water. The planet is covered in it. The problem is that most of it is saltwater. Fresh water is limited, and the fresh water we rely on is often trapped in rivers, lakes, glaciers, rainfall systems, and underground aquifers. Unlike oil, water is difficult to move across the world at scale. You cannot simply ship enough fresh water to save a drought-stricken country. Water is local, and that makes geography powerful. Some countries already face extreme water stress. Their populations are growing. Their farms need more irrigation. Their cities need more supply. Their industries need more cooling and processing. But their rivers, reservoirs, and aquifers are under pressure. This is why water is no longer just an environmental issue. It is becoming an economic issue, a political issue, and a national security issue. Because when water becomes scarce, the question changes. It is no longer just who needs it. It becomes who controls it. Rivers do not follow political borders. A river may begin in one country, pass through another, and support millions of people downstream. That creates tension. If one country builds a dam upstream, another country may fear losing water downstream. If one region diverts water for farms, another region may face shortages. And when drought hits, these tensions become sharper. Future conflicts may not only be fought over oil fields. They may be fought over rivers, dams, and reservoirs. The biggest user of fresh water is agriculture. Food is water in another form. Rice, wheat, fruit, vegetables, meat, all of it depends on water. So when water becomes scarce, food becomes more expensive. Farmers pump deeper. Governments ration supply. Cities compete with farms. And ordinary people feel it through higher prices. This is where water starts to behave like oil. When oil becomes expensive, transport and energy costs rise. When water becomes scarce, food, energy, manufacturing, and migration pressure can all rise with it. The modern economy also needs water. Data centers use water for cooling. Semiconductor factories need ultra-clean water. Mining and battery supply chains consume huge amounts of it. So the future economy is not only competing for talent, capital, and electricity. It is competing for water. A city with reliable water can attract industry. A city without it may struggle to grow. In the future, water security could become one of the biggest advantages a country can have. That is why governments and investors are paying more attention to water infrastructure. Desalination, wastewater recycling, leak detection, smart irrigation, reservoir management, pipelines, water rights. These may sound boring, but they are becoming strategic. The winners of the next century may not only be those who control oil fields, they may be those who control water technology, water infrastructure, and water access. But there is a darker side. If water becomes more valuable, inequality could deepen. Rich cities can build desalination plants. Rich farmers can drill deeper wells. Rich countries can import food from water-rich regions. But poorer communities may be left with shortages, contamination, and rising costs. Everyone needs water, but not everyone has equal power to secure it. Climate change makes the system even more unstable. Some places are getting drier, others are facing heavier floods, rainfall patterns are changing, glaciers are shrinking, and underground aquifers are being drained faster than they can refill. This is not a distant future problem. It is already happening. So could water become the next oil? Not exactly. Water is not a fuel, and unlike oil, humans cannot live without it. But like oil, water is becoming a resource that shapes power. It will decide where cities grow, where food can be produced, where industries can operate, and where people can survive. The next global resource race may not be for something hidden deep underground. It may be for something we have always taken for granted. The rivers, the rain, the reservoirs, the pipes beneath our cities, the water beneath our feet. Because the future may not belong to the countries with the most oil. It may belong to the countries that can protect, produce, and control the world's most essential resource: water.